welcome back to my channel, or welcome if you're new. Today I am going to go over some pain relief tips. Now, I struggle a lot with my upper body, my shoulders, and basically, and my knee, and other little bits and bobs that I have that just pop up randomly every now and again. And basically I'm on the max amount of muscle relaxants and nerve things, meds, and then pain relief meds. I'm not allowed as like stronger ones than I've got now, because I am on a lifelong pain management treatment, if that makes sense. Basically, I'm going to be on them for a very long time, if not forever. So I'm not allowed to take anything stronger for a long period of time because of how addictive they are. Even though the medication I take now are addictive. But yeah, I'll just start with going over some of the medications that I take that are prescribed to me. I have anti-inflammatories, so I have naproxen, the strongest ones of those. I also have the ibuprofen gel, which it states that you shouldn't use both of them together, but I'm allowed for some reason. So yeah, with the naproxen as well, because it is really damaging to your stomach. I do have to take another tablet to line my stomach to take that one, so it doesn't damage, because you can get ulcers and stomach bleeds and stuff like that with it. So yeah, that one. And then I'm on 75 milligrams of amitriptyline, which is the max amount you can go on. Amitriptyline is basically kind of like something to your nerves and your muscles, relaxes them or something. And if you go above 75 milligram, they turn into an antidepressant. So I'm on the max amount of them. If I do need to change it, if I do need to go up in future, I'll have to just change my whole medication to a different one. So, but for now, I manage with that basically, unless I get something called a frozen arm where I can't use my actual shoulder. Yeah, then that's usually when I upped it. But at the minute it seems manageable where I am. With other natural pain relief things that I use as well, it's a lot more manageable. I forgot to mention here as well that I'm actually on the maximum dose of cocodamol of 30/500. I'm going to show you what I use to kind of like support, relief, or just help with some of the kind of like pain and stuff that I have. So if anyone else is suffering for something similar to this, or have body spread pain in a lot of places, it will probably help. That don't want to either take medication, or like me, taking the maximum amount that they're allowed to take, and obviously the doctors won't do anything else except for, you know, physio, which doesn't work, steroids, which doesn't work for me. So yeah, these are just other things that I use. So I'm gonna start off with support. I have a few things that I need, not that I need supports with, that I have supports with. So on days I am struggling, or days that I know I'm going to be busy or doing quite a bit, I like to wear a support, so I know I'm helping it as much as possible, if that makes sense. The first one I've got is a knee support. This one here, which just wraps around the knee, and then hold it a minute. It wraps around the knee like that, and then these just wrap around there as well. So I use this one if I know I'm going to do a lot of, well, not a lot of walking because I can't walk that much far. But yeah, if I'm having woke up with quite a bit of pain in there and I do need a little bit more support, I've got this. Another one I have is, I get repetitive restrain and carpal tunnel. I've had the one with the bar in, but I can't move my wrist at all with that, and I know with carpal tunnel that's what you need. But because it's my left knee that is hurting, and my right hand, when I use a stick it can sometimes affect this side, because this is my bad side upper body and that's my bad side lower body, which is really a pain because I use this side to help with my knee. So I've got normal kind of like supports, which is this one I first started using when my wrist would bother me. But yeah, it was okay, but it got really dirty and I didn't think it'd support as much as I wanted it to. So I've got that one, but then I've also got this one here, which is loads better. It's the only thing I don't like about this one that I do with this one, the bit here that goes where your thumb is, it irritates it. So I mean, I suppose I could wear this one underneath, but yeah, I've got this one which basically just goes on, and then you can put it as tight as you want around the wrist, just so then I know I'm feeling I've got a little bit extra support, because that's what's wrong with my wrist. Basically my tendons don't do so great here on the front of my hand. I mean, I get carpal tunnel, which is there, but I know how to avoid that. I just can't sit with my arm up. You're like if you're on the sofa and stuff, I can't do that. But yeah, it's the tendons that aren't well supported in my wrist. So if I've got that kind of like wrist thing, that I make sure it's a little bit higher so it's on my wrist, I can still use it, but it's not, I'm not doing a bigger range of motion than what I would do without it. So yeah, I've got that one. I also have a problem with the tendons in my foot, in my left foot, which the walking stick seems to help with as well as my knee. Basically the ball of my foot just swells so much, and I got told it's because the tendons in the top of my foot aren't supporting it. So I wear insoles on that foot to help support it because I have a really high arch. But I also around the house, because not wearing shoes and stuff like that can irritate it as well. I've got a problem with it, like, I haven't picked them out, they're still in the drawer somewhere, like a gel pad that I can put on under my foot and walk around with, because around the house that's when it can hurt a bit. Using my stick has actually helped with that, so yeah, I don't need to wear them as much around the house no more, because the stick seems to take the pressure off my foot. Now and again it can hurt, but yeah, the stick seems to help. And obviously that's another one, you can use a walking stick. That has helped me absolutely loads. I love it. Like I said, I use it on for my left side, but I hold it on my right side, and you basically go forward with the stick at the same time you land. So you land your stick and your bad foot at the same time, and you kind of do that. And it helps, and I didn't think it'd help, but it actually means that I'm not putting all my weight on that leg and on that foot. I'm then putting some of the weight on my upper body as well as my lower body, which is a pain because I have upper body conditions as well, which is annoying, but it depends which one's going to be worse that day. And I have tried, when my arm hurts, not using the stick, but I just can't walk that far with it at all, so yeah, I gave up on that one. The other support that I've got as well is this one, which is pretty strange, but it's basically kind of like a back support and shoulder support. When I sit down for long periods of time, like now for example, my shoulder blades start to burn, which I've been told it's my posture, but right now I'm so straight. It's not like I'm like this. If I am slumped, it does make it worse. So if I'm sat at a table for a long period of time doing a lot of writing, or I'm bent over, that will make it really, really bad. Like, can't cope with it bad. But just sat like this for long periods of time, when I'm sat up, if I'm kind of like leant back, oh, I can't really do it on here, but like on the sofa when I'm in a comfortable position, then that's when I'm not in as much pain because I'm leant back, I'm taking the pressure off my back. But this, I basically got to help me when it's got little Velcro bits here. I do need help getting in it because it's a bit of a yeah, it's fiddly, but this helps for like the shoulder blades and stuff like that. So I've got that one as well. Another thing is cushions. I absolutely love piling cushions up. When I have flares, I literally cannot move, and the last time I had a flare it lasted the whole week and it was so horrible. Like I said, with the upper body, my biggest thing that's affected is my trapezius muscle, which is the muscle that actually you use to hold your head up. So I'm using it right now. Well, you won't think, it's a muscle you wouldn't really think about much, and then it goes all the way to your shoulders and then like a V down your shoulder blades. And sometimes when I have a flare up, I struggle holding my head up. Yeah, it's one of those muscles you don't think about, so when it does happen, it makes me think about things a little bit more. But yeah, because I can't feel like my neck's supported, and when I'm lying down, even then, it doesn't feel right. I have a pillow in obviously my bedroom where it's a special pillow. It's like a memory foam pillow, but it curves like this. So you put the smaller curve, or you put one of the curves underneath your, like at the back of your head, where your neck naturally goes in, and then the other one kind of like comes around the top. So it fits your head perfectly. So it's not the comfiest, as in, if you don't need it, you probably wouldn't like it. But with me, it's the only pillow I can sleep with without getting a lot of pain. If I use a normal pillow, like when we go away, I struggle with it because I get a lot of neck pain and stuff from it. But this one, it took me a while to get used to it, but it took me a while to get used to it, but I absolutely love it because it helps me sleep. Even though at the minute I've been having lots of pain sleeping, but yeah, it helps with my neck anyway. And another thing I do is use this. This is kind of like a memory foam one as well. It's like a travel pillow. When I can't support my head, I basically put this on and then lean back, and it seems like it just supports me a little bit better when I've got loads of pillows and stuff behind me, and then I could just lean back and not move it, and it helps me not move my neck as well, because I can remember when it first started happening a few years ago and I just couldn't support my own neck. I was like, could you just give me a neck brace? I can't hold my neck. But they were like, no, I'm sorry, we can't give you that because you've got to use your muscle. So yeah, it's a bit of a pain, but yeah, pillows and stuff like that help. So for example, I struggle with having my arms up for long periods of time, like brushing my hair, that really hurts me. And basically it feels like I've got a massive weight in my hand whilst doing it. So yeah, I struggle with that. So what I found out at like with the sofa and stuff like that, and even just like doing everyday things like brushing my hair, if I kind of lean my arm on something, so my arm's just resting on it, and then do it, I can use it a little bit longer. It still does hurt and it still does ache, but I can actually do it a little bit longer than normal. So it's the same like if I'm sat like this with my phone, obviously my arms will get tired, but if I've got pillars there to actually help support my arms rather than me just using my muscle all the time, then it helps with that as well. So not just like actual support stuff, you could just use loads of pillows and stuff like that. I've also got recommended that I've not actually got yet, but I think I'm going to get because of the amount of pain in my back and my knee that I am starting to get in bed, is one of the pregnancy pillows. You basically kind of, you can have it where it goes like in a big U, or you can just have it in a straight line, either one in a straight line. Actually, I have a feeling I've still got it upstairs, so I might try and find that. It's like under my bed. So yeah, I'm gonna see if I've still got that, but it's like a long pillow and you basically kind of cuddle it and you put it, I put one knee under and one knee over, and it kind of helps with the position like when you're pregnant. But if I have that, hopefully it'll help with, because I keep waking up in loads of pain in the middle of the night with my back and my knee, and yeah, it's a pain. So literally, so I'm gonna try that as well. But another thing that I actually do want to get, which I don't have as well, is something for the sofa. You can get like a pillow where it's like a headrest, shoulder thing, and then arms where you put your arms on. I really want one of those. If anyone knows where you can get them for not too extortionate price, please let me know, because that's the next thing I definitely want to buy to help me, because I think that's going to be loads easier and loads better when I'm sat. Basically I have to move constantly anyway, but hopefully with that I feel a little bit more comfortable and supported with that pillow. The next one I've got is something I never really knew about until I basically asked forums and things that were going through something similar. And this is a heat cape. So if you struggle with your shoulder blades and your shoulders, even your neck, like the top here, basically this is a heat cape. So I just pop it on like this. It's got like little buttons. I usually have it on the middle one, even though it is quite tight. I feel like I've got to have it tight to feel the heat, if that makes sense. I don't think it's got any, has it got any? Ah yes it does. And you basically have a button here, which green is the lowest, amber is the middle, and I always have it on red. The red is the strongest heat. The way that you use it and charge it up is you kind of have like a little battery pack in here, which you've got a USB, and then the little battery pack that you plug one of like the old kind of like phone style ports in there, and then you just charge it up, and then yeah, when you're ready you put it in this little pocket here and plug your USB in and you're ready to go. It's really helpful. I like it. Even though I know that things inflame and swell, like my muscle here for example, well, it's not really my muscle that's swollen, it's basically constantly cramped. They're meant to say cold and ice and stuff like that's meant to help, but actually for me heat does, because it doesn't take the swelling down, the cold, and it makes it uncomfortable. But when I use heat, it makes me relaxed as well as feel a bit better, so I much prefer to use heat. I have got some of this. This is when I didn't know whether it was cold or heat that would help me. I don't have any of the heat sprays left, but this is the cool one anyway, so obviously if you've got any inflammation or anything you can use this. There's also creams as well that you can get, which I need some more of because I prefer the cream, the like deep heat cream. I'm going to get some more of that because that is really, really good. But yeah, you can also use cans or creams of Cool or Heat, whichever one you prefer. Another thing that I've got is these as well. I'm gonna get the little support over here. This is one of the supports. This is the one actually I got from Poundland. So yeah, if you do need something like this, go to Poundland because it's amazing. But they only had one when I went in. This one I got from Amazon. I think it was like a £5. This one I got for £1 from Poundland. But you only get 2 of the heat pads in it. So basically you put it on like a normal support. I try and get this band at the top of my, like above my knee, and then this bit below. And you've got holes in here. With this one you've only got 1. But all of this is kind of like open. So you can put, I could just go around in a big circle there. And basically the little heat packs that you can have, as well as the heat spray and stuff, you can't put them on direct to your skin. But you can put them over the top of something. So if you have like a vest top on, you can put them on like that, or over like leggings or whatnot. But the way this works is you put the heat pads inside it. And this one that I've got here, this one is a double one. So you have 2 pockets and you put them in either side of your kneecap, which is great. And I've got some, and I've got a couple left here, yeah, where you just pop those in and they give you heat up to 8 hours, which is really, really good. But this one, I'm actually going to get some large ones because with your knee, you've got to have ones like this big to put in. But this one, because it's got a massive pocket, I might get the big ones you can get for your back and just shove that whole thing in. Just because it's going to be cheaper and I'm only using 1 pad at a time instead of 2. But yeah, these are absolutely great. They obviously support because these will be tight around your knee, but they also provide heat, which is great. And they're not kind of like big and bulky like my knee strap that I've got. These, you can obviously, you can tell by you wearing them, but someone else probably wouldn't be able to tell you're wearing them, if that makes sense. So yeah, these are good if you're like with me, if you're in a lot of pain. Mine's usually used at night time. I'm in a lot of pain and I want to relax. I get all my support stuff and put it all on. Well, with my knee, it'll be my knee, that, and then it'll be my heat cape, and then probably my neck rest that I just can chill out to at night. And yeah, because at night time is where I kind of don't have the best of times with pain. But yeah, they really, really, really help. The last and the last and final one that I've got as well is a TENS machine. TENS machines are okay. I've used it quite a bit with my shoulders, mainly when I get a cold shoulder, where it's called freeze shoulder. I can't remember, something like that, when basically the joint, I can barely move it, and if I do, I'm in so much pain. And yeah, I can put these on my shoulder blades and around there. There's 4 in total. And it's a little pocket one, so I can actually walk around with it, as well as instead of sat down with a machine like you can do like when you're in labour and stuff. This one's kind of like a pocket version. And yeah, you just charge it by one of the really, really old ports, and then you just turn it on. You can just have the 2 in, or you can have the 4 in like what I have, and then you pick the strength you want it and the like rhythm that you want it, and then yeah, you're off. The only downside that I have about this one, I mean it might help a load of other people, but with me, because the pain is usually in my muscle and it's cramped, the only way that I can get relief from it is if I go to like a 9. I can't go to a 10 because that's when it hurts more than pain relief, but a 9's like on the verge where it helps the pain, but it's a little bit uncomfortable. But I just have to be careful because wherever I put it on my back, sometimes it causes it to spasm. So it does help to a point, but it's kind of like in the middle where if I'm in a lot of pain I will use it and it does help, but it's a bit uncomfortable at the same time, if that makes sense. So I don't use this one as often as everything else. Like the heat things are probably like the heat cape and the neck support, and the knee support is probably on my walking stick. They're probably the main things that I use most. Obviously with a nighttime pillow, I use it every night as well. But yeah, this one I don't use as much just because it's slightly uncomfortable for me because of how high I have to have it. If I have it on like 8, it does nothing. But like I said, 9, it does something to the pain, but it's just a little bit uncomfortable. But if I've had it on for quite a while, I get used to it, but obviously not then to have it on for hours and hours on end. I turn it off, and then it's the same thing. You've got to get used to it for a few minutes before it actually feels okay, because it's very, very weird sensation, because it's just like sending electric, like electrodes, like electric kind of shocks, just very small ones, just where you kind of like, it goes like this with your muscle. So it depends where you've got to do it. Like I said, it makes mine spasm sometimes where I put them, but it's really good for pain relief. Recommended it if that works for you, if you've had it in pregnancy or anything like that. Never had one of them in pregnancy, but I didn't need one. But yeah, it helps if I'm in so much pain that I need something to help. But yeah, that is all the tips that I've got. If you've got any questions, please pop them down below. If you use something that I don't use that you think will help as well, please comment that down below. Like I said, I've got a load of things. My main thing is like my trapezius muscle, like my shoulder joint and my knee, and then I've got other things like my foot and my wrist and so forth. So if you've got any suggestions about anything that I can use additional to all of these, then please let me know in the comments. But I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please give it a big thumbs up and subscribe if you're new. But I hope you have an amazing rest of the day, and I will see you soon. Bye.